Welcome to the Business Power Hour with Lisa and the Music Man. Live from Studio C at media stations in Bohemia, New York.
We're on. And good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Business Power Hour with Lisa and the Music Man. In case you folks didn't know, I'm the Music Man. And that lovely
I am Lisa.
creature up there is Lisa. And the other smiling face that you're looking at, we don't know who she is yet. She just happened to pop in. But we're going to figure it out and see it and introduce her shortly. Lisa, you're in Myrtle Beach. What the heck are you doing there?
Oh, we had a chance to break away. Friends of ours have a timeshare, and they have a owner's condo that they have a 2-bedroom place that they needed to help fill a room, and we had to oblige.
Oh, you poor baby.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. We drove all night just to get to the ocean, but I grew up on an ocean, so of course. Yeah.
Okay, that's my sound effects for tonight.
Okay.
We have a young lady that's, by the way, I'm going to share some very exciting news regarding the Business Power Hour in about 30 minutes that I think, I know Lisa and I are very excited about it, and hopefully everybody else will be as well. And we thank all of you for what I'm going to tell you in approximately 32 minutes and 4 seconds. So that being said, but let's go back into our guest for this evening. Her name is Selena Thiel. Am I pronouncing it right?
Teal, like the color.
Teal. T-E-A-L. So why the heck didn't you spell it T-E-A-L? Why you're giving tongue twisters?
Because it's German, and therefore in the original language it sounds angry.
All right.
Well, talk about angry. The name of your company is Angry. I'm going to share that with everybody right now. Office Mercenary Services. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to first ask you to explain what the business is, and then we're going to go back into your history a little bit, and we're going to talk about you and your business and where you were, how'd you got to this, and we're going to do a little story about Selena Thiel. All right.
Yes.
So tell us about Office Services, Mercenary Services. Go ahead.
So Office Mercenary, we're actually a team of virtual assistants and online business managers. Everyone is based in the U.S. We aren't doing anything overseas. So this is really kind of our home market, both in terms of the clients that we're serving and the people that we're hiring. Our entire goal is to get small business owners back to the stuff that they love and that they're good at, and that is actually going to help them grow and make them happy, as opposed to all that nitty gritty stuff that has to get done that you tend to get lost in.
You know, the virtual assistant business has become huge in the last couple of years. It's like crazy.
Yeah. And since COVID too.
Yes, it expanded drastically with COVID because, they certainly existed before then, but
never heard of them. Never heard of it, except for the last, I guess it's Siri. Is that correct? On the internet, and they call Siri a virtual assistant.
Kind of, it's the talk to your phone, and yes, I can find that for you, Dave. Waiting for the robot uprising.
Right. But I think virtual networking definitely helped virtual assistants really get exposed.
Well, so many people were moving out of the office that the concept of, I can hire an assistant that doesn't live in the office became a lot more palatable for people, because before you got used to, no, I want to have someone that can stop by and that I can meet with, and I need to be able to see them to make sure that they're doing what they think they're doing. And I know Zoom, but I don't use it that often. I really want to be able to, like, I don't know, sneak up behind them and like scare them if I see that they're doing something on the computer that they're not supposed to.
Talk about scaring
I've seen
them.
that before in offices.
You live in Colorado, correct?
I do.
Have you always been in Colorado?
More or less, yep. Just
Which part?
moved different
More or
places
less?
in the States. Drastically more.
Okay.
Just different parts of the state, but
so
mostly in the Denver metro area.
Okay, so you grew up there, and when you were a young woman, high school, thinking about going to college, did you think about being a virtual assistant? What was in your mind about what you wanted to be when you grew up?
I went to college and I was a theater performance major.
Really?
Ah.
I had helped in my dad opened his own business when I was in high school.
What did Dad
He
do?
does home inspections and
Uh-huh.
handyman work and stuff like that. But and my mom's a bookkeeper, and my dad was very much so the type who's like, the computer and I are not on speaking terms. So he would get home from doing stuff and be like, "So Selena, your mom's not home from work yet. I need you to put the thing into QuickBooks
How
and
old
do
were you when he
whatever
asked you
is
this?
supposed to happen with that." I was 16, and then I had been helping my mom at her office before then, helping her with filing and coordinating and
Really?
all of that
All
kind of
the
stuff. Yeah.
essentials.
All of the essentials. It's early math is putting stuff,
Yeah.
putting the hard copy paper like
Mhm.
receipts in the proper numerical order and then dividing them by which building they
I
were
can do
attached to.
that.
Oh no.
I don't need
Yeah.
anybody.
Yeah.
That's one thing I can do.
I don't see you having to do that each day for your business.
No,
I
I
think,
don't. I wish I
you
had
know,
more
that's
receipts,
not
good
possible.
receipts, than what
Yep.
we do have. So, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be an actress. I like my heart was really in the theater and behind the screen, which, so now I am doing a lot of screen work just in a very different way than I initially anticipated.
You mean
Uh,
like coming on our show?
exactly. But now I get to be me as opposed to like Lord Featherington the 23rd with
Do
I
you do
actually get to
local
be
theater?
myself.
Do you do any local theater out in Colorado?
I did for a while. I haven't in a little bit. Just I still have a number of friends that are very active in the theater community.
Well, why don't you do it?
I'm busy running a company.
Or hire a virtual
Well,
assistant and they'll take
yeah,
care of it for you.
you have sources. Take advantage,
It's
right?
like I have a team, they do great. It's I also have a husband. I've got 5 animals because I'm insane and I collected them instead of children so far. Uh,
Ah.
give that some time though. And just like health stuff. And so it's just like, this is about the speed that I'm happy with now. I probably will but jump back into some of the local theater now, especially that it's kind of gotten back up and running the last
Yes.
year.
Yes.
It's very
Um,
popular
COVID.
here in New York. It's very, very popular.
Yes.
yeah.
So tell me,
Yeah,
what
I have a
does
client on Broadway, and yeah, finally things are opening up again. Sorry for that,
what
Norman.
does a virtual assistant really do? I take a look at your website. It's really a terrific website. You got all your partners or your associates or your employees, whatever you want to call them, listed on there. How do you delegate which virtual assistant goes where and how, and what does a virtual assistant do? Plain and
Oh,
simple.
so a virtual assistant is kind of this weird catch-all term. Again, it exploded. And so now it's one of these Google keywords that everyone likes to use. So you'll get like, oh, I'm a social media virtual assistant. Okay, cool. What's that?
Uh,
Really, what is that?
So usually when people say, oh, I'm a social media assistant, that means one of two things. We have a thing with social media. We do social media management. That means we're making sure the accounts are set up correctly, stuff is getting posted, it's getting posted consistently, it's on brand, it's got the right colors, your graphics are pretty, and they're actually going out across all of your platforms. It's basically making sure everything is pretty and consistent. Um, when they say, "Oh, I'm a social media VA," most of the time they mean social media management. Sometimes they mean a higher level of thing. Then they were just like, "Oh, yes, we're the ones who are going to be like, you need to post this many times on this day, and then we're going to get 1,500 new followers." That's technically a specialty, but because the Google keyword says, yes, social media virtual assistant is the thing to put in, that's what they put in. So it's always important to make sure you know exactly what the person you're talking to actually does.
Well, how do you know? You know, as a lay person, if I get recommended to the mercenary office services, either you hire us or we kill you, company, uh, what? And I I go, Selena, I need this and I need that and what? Do you have package deals? If you get like a Chinese restaurant, two from column A and one from column B, how does it work?
The
So
buffet.
here, take the buffet with, like all the
Mhm.
extra little cookies at the end. We are set up because we have a whole team and it's not just like the single person or whatever. We tend to be pretty full service. So we can do almost anything that you need. So that's the full customer service, where email inbox management. If you've ever seen someone where just like, oh my God, I have 5,000 unread emails, that's where we want to come in and help tame that beast. CRM management, so client relationship management tools. Lots of people, especially when they're getting up and running, say, I have one. I don't use it, but I have one. Paperwork organization. So, yes, very rarely are you getting the hard copy receipts that you need to file through, but like your Google Drive, your OneDrive, whatever that happens to be, people just start shoving stuff in there, and then it also becomes a mess that you have trouble finding anything from.
Oh yeah.
Like true administrative stuff. That's the data entry. That is research. That is slogging through of, hi, I need 12 dentists in the Fort Lauderdale area. Okay, yep, let's look those up and get their contact information because you want to market to them. Great, we can do that.
So you do a form of lead generation as well?
Yeah, we'll do that kind of research and help develop like those initial emails. Again, first tier stuff. So it's if you want the, yes, we guarantee that this is going to have a 35% open rating. That's not a VA specialty. That you want an actual marketing person for. Now, a VA can pair up with your marketing person so that the marketing person says, hey, it needs to say this, and the VA actually gets it done. And that way you don't have to touch anything and it's done. But basically, a VA is the get it done. It's the get it done person. So whether that's social media, marketing stuff, so again, emails, blogs, website edits, is a VA going to build a website for you? Well,
No.
a couple people will because, again, VA has
Mhm.
become the catch-all Google term. But most, no, they will not build you an entire website, nor should they, because that is not their specialty.
Do you
And
do
that's a good way to
bookkeeping?
have a plugin that like explodes and takes your entire website
Do
down.
you do bookkeeping as well?
We do.
Really?
That is a specialty service. We'll do bookkeeping, actual blog writing, and the content creation. Um, the online business management, that is a specialty service. That is more of the high level
Explain.
fractional middle management is usually what I call online business management. So that is team management. So if you have a couple of VAs in the US and a couple overseas, and you just need to make sure everyone's doing what the heck they're supposed to do. Yeah, okay, we've got team members who can do that. Project management, systems and process overhauls. So some of that is I have a CRM, I don't use it, I don't think I'm using it correctly. I'm not sure I actually like it. Okay, cool. Let's deep dive and see what you actually need out of it and find something that is actually going to do what you need and what you want.
Do you have a telephone answering service also for people?
Generally, what we do with that is we'll have them set up a VoIP system, so voice over internet protocol. So that's UMA. That's any of the other voice
Yeah.
systems, and we will schedule times where we're like, hey, we're going to check your voicemail 2 times a day, 3 times a day, whatever you need, and then respond to all of that. But we don't do live answer because that is something to have someone sitting there going like, I'm just waiting for the call. I'm just waiting for the call.
And there's no need for that these days, depending on the size of the business. So
it's if you get big enough that you need someone sitting there like, hi, how you doing? Hi, how you doing? Okay, then that's maybe when you do get that one person in the office who's does that and maybe some other stuff, and you pair them with a virtual assistant so that everything still gets done.
What kind of clients do you have? Do you specialize in any certain industry, or just any industry is great?
We are very industry agnostic. There's a lot of VAs that specialize in a specific group. Um, we have a really wide range, everyone from like landlords and real estate agents to business coaches to like yoga and meditation teachers. And I'm a shamanic healer who will read your Akashic records. Um, and kind of everything between. We have people that do have HIPAA compliance training, so we will work with like small therapists. Basically, as long in the medical, as long as we can keep it on like one or two platforms and maintain that HIPAA compliance. If they get too big, no, you need an in-house team who is going to be able to maintain that HIPAA compliance because HIPAA compliance.
Yes, Selena. So where do you operate? Where do you serve businesses?
So mostly the US. We have done quite a bit of work in Canada, so it ends up being North America is really our specialty. We can work anywhere, any place that is trying to get a foothold in the US. That works great too. But mostly it tends to be US-based companies because we speak the weird US lingo.
Well, here's a question for you.
That is important.
Why are you in this business? What the heck made you jump into this? I thought you'd be stage and screen and, winning Grammy.
Be a star somewhere.
I mean,
I thought I'd be stage and screen too. It's
now
Anne Hathaway.
You're the star,
eat your heart out.
You're the star of your business in the VA world. How many employees? How many employees do you have?
Right now we're at about 10. We just did some hiring, so I'm like, hold on, math. But yeah, so we're about 10 altogether. And hiring more. So
so when did you start your business too?
So we started in 2019, like towards the end of 2019, September. We initially started out as like, oh, we're going to be hybrid. We'll do virtual and in person and it'll be great. And then, 2020
History
happened and we're like, oh yeah, hey, no, like virtual is the way to go. But before that, I did it for 3 years on my own. And I ran into the exact same thing that most small business owners do of that working. And then you like kind of fall over and die for a couple days because you worked yourself too hard. And then stuff slips through the cracks and then you feel bad and then you rebuild and then you catch up and then you fall in and then it happens all over again.
You said you started your business in 2019. It's 4 years and change since then. How did you manage to grow your business from the initial stages to where you are now?
A lot of networking. Networking has really been the key for us. Personal relationships have been the way to go. There's a lot to be said for Google ads and Facebook ads and all that kind of stuff, but ultimately people are going to work with people that they like
all the time.
And
like, know, and trust. Yeah.
And so that has been really the cornerstone of mostly of what we've been doing so far. Yes, we're getting to a point where, we should probably go for something.
How many networking groups do you belong to?
Right now, 3 or 4.
I did also, but I got limited now because thank God NRG has kept me busy for the last couple of months. Well, actually, since I joined them. You're a product of NRG for the Business Power Hour.
Yes.
So let's give a plug to Mike Weiner and the NRG family. Yay!
Yes, definitely. Yay! There you go.
Okay, enough for Mike Weiner.
All right, Mike. There's your plug. When are we going to get paid from advertising we do for him?
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna take that back. Again, so how did you face all those struggles during COVID, or was that really your growing period? People needed you at that period of time, correct?
Yeah, it was a big growing period for us, which growth creates its own struggles.
Yes.
especially because we were still very new in the business and kind of getting used to having a team. Because most people, when I started out on my own, I didn't want to have a team. Then I have to manage people, and then, oh God, what if they screw up? And this is the thing. And so when my business partner was like, no, let's team up, I was like, okay, yeah, I'll do this because now I have someone else who's willing to help me with all of this. And ultimately, that's what small business owners need. Someone saying like, hey, I'm willing to help you with this. Yay. Um, but like, yeah, it started to explode then. We basically set ourselves up so that we were making a lot of really good connections and trying to foster them, and then really building back end systems to support our team and the clients. Part of the thing that everyone's just like, oh my gosh, it's so hard to hire good people. It's so hard to hire good people. It's harder to keep good people, and you really want to keep them. And so a big part of what we're doing is making sure that when people have life happen, because they're going to have life happen, it's just the nature of the beast. It's the nature of humanity. That they can still take time off the way they would with a more traditional employment thing. Only they don't have to call us and be like, "Hi, I need to have like a doctor's note because I get sick." No, no, no. Just let us know that you're sick, and we'll step in and make sure that the wheels don't fall off the bus for any of your clients that day. And that keeps everyone happy and comfortable, and really helps with our own growth because people trust us and then they continue to refer us.
What's the strongest area in your virtual business that you handle?
He gives you the tough ones, doesn't he?
It's kind of like, okay, hold on.
It's like if I'm hiring Selena, there are certain things that I want to know. I want to know what your strengths are. We understand the generalities of what it is that you do because you explained it. But what really are the strengths? Because there's somebody listening in this program tonight who's going to need what you say.
That needs it. On the fact that we can, because we have a team and so we can move people in and out, like we have a really, really strong social media management team that has essentially kind of evolved into its own critter. We have a social media, basically account manager who's handling most of the social media stuff. She's overseeing all of the other social media VAs. So that is like this really, really core tenet. And so a lot of people will start with that, but then we can pull in other VAs and do that customer service and do that data entry or do a blog or whatever else is needed and have it keep going. Because a lot of times if they say like, oh, I'm a social media VA, you say, hey, can you help manage my email inbox? And they're like, no. Uh, and then you end up with 15 different people working for you and you don't know where anything is. So the fact that it's all under Office Mercenary and we help with all of the management of that is.
So it sounds like you've created quite the tool for a solopreneur or even someone with a few employees already.
Yes. We have all of our systems built in a way so that we can either jump into their systems and make sure things are getting done, or they can use ours and make sure things are getting done and just assign stuff. That way, if they're I like to use the example if they're a morning person, because Lord knows I am not. I am not a morning person. So if their happy time is 5 a.m. when the sun is getting ready to come up and they're sitting there on Myrtle Beach watching the sun come up with their coffee, and I am very much so still snoring or maybe waking up and letting my dogs outside and then letting them back in and going, okay, go back to sleep. That's there. That's there. And as soon as I am awake and I am functional, I can look at that and go, oh, okay, I need to get this done. Because that is that system handoff. A lot can get lost there.
So, Selena, how can someone reach you if they need your services? What's the best way to reach you?
Best way, honestly, we've got the website. There's a cute little form there that lets you kind of fill out what you need.
All right,
that
so
gives people
I'm a
the
little
option.
old school. What's your phone number? Give it to us a couple of times, please.
Okay, the phone number is 720-235-8503.
Repeat
One
it.
more time.
720-235-8503.
All right.
What's your
The
email
website
address?
works
If
great.
people want to contact you, what's your email address?
So my email is Selena, Selena, at officemercenary.com. So office spelled the traditional way, mercenary also spelled the traditional way, but most people don't spell that every day. So there's this MERCENARY. So OFFICEMERCENARY.com. That is also where the website is, officemercenary.com. The advantage to the website is you get like this little form that you fill out, and then you'll get an email back that says, hey, you can schedule with me. And that'll be either me or my business partner, whichever one has the availability when you do.
I'll tell you a cute
Very
story. I
nice.
was looking, I couldn't find your phone number this afternoon for some reason. And then I went to your website and I went to the contact page and there was a phone number in it. And I dialed that phone number and it turned out to be an automotive repair shop. So
That's weird.
I would call them tomorrow and see if you can get them as a client. I think the guy's name was Bill. I said, who is this? This is Bill, from the automotive repair. Whoa, wait a minute. Selena's not here? So if you go in there on your contact page, I would definitely call this guy tomorrow. Tell him
I will be calling him. I'm also going to be like sending my business partner a Slack message and be like, girl,
yeah, check this out.
What's up with our phone number?
Did you see? I don't know if you just popped into your website, but when we do our break, you can jump in there and take a look and see.
Are you sure you didn't misdial or turn some numbers around?
No, actually,
or something?
there wasn't even a close phone number to what Selena's phone number really was, but it was there, and I was looking. I figured it had to be someone who knew who you were. But unless you had your car in there for repair, there's no way that was going to happen.
Okay. So on the contact us, there's the form and there's a phone number example. I'm wondering if that's the one that got called.
541?
Yeah, 541-444. Yeah, that's an example phone number.
Well, guess what? It's Bill's example, whatever his name is.
Well, I got to change that example phone number because, I was like, hi, Bill from the automotive repair shop. This is going to be real awkward. So
why don't you just put in 666-666-666-666-666?
Or what about 857-4? What's that number?
867-5309.
That one.
I've got your number. Yeah,
that one. You know which one I meant.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yes.
All right.
Perfect.
We had a very, very, very fast 30 minutes. Really fast, very fast. And we still haven't gotten close to the questions that we want to go and ask you and for you to get your information out. But right now we're going to take like a 2 or 3 minute commercial break so that I can pay the bills when they're due next week instead of calling my virtual assistant to say, go find me some money. So stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back. Hi, everybody. My name is Norman Wasserman, and next to me is Lisa Rodino. Lisa and I host a TV podcast show called The Business Power Hour with Lisa and the Music Man.
So what does the Business Power Hour do? We are here to talk about you and your business. We will put you on air for 1 hour to highlight your business in front of thousands of viewers worldwide, helping you generate more leads to grow your business.
And we do this every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. right here. What are you doing?
I'm keeping you on point. My name is Lisa Rodino. I am a commercial loan advisor and broker. Have you been finding that your business's cash flow is not where you need it to be? Have you found yourself taking from your personal accounts to meet your business's obligations? Have you found that those quick solutions of quick money are starting to get awfully expensive? My job is to find the right funding products for my clients so they can get back to working in their business and give me the task of finding the best options for their situation. Give us a call today to learn more. 516-268-0350.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Friend Entertainment USA. My name is Norman Wasserman. I am also known as the Music Man. Let me just tell you a little bit about Friend Entertainment. We put on concerts for charities, and we do that everywhere from New York to Las Vegas. We do R&B, Motown, rock and roll, jazz, whatever it is that you wish. Friend Entertainment will deliver the best of the best for you and your charity. Here are some of the names of the talent that have performed with us on our stage. Stevie Wonder, Tina Turner, The Temptations, Earth, Wind and Fire, the one and only ELO, Elton John himself, Kool and the Gang, and the fabulous Donna Summer. Go to our website, friendentusa.com. That's www.friendentusa.com, or feel free to call us at 631-698-9696. 631-698-9696, and we'll see you at the next show.
We're back.
Okay, and welcome back to the Business Power Hour with Lisa and the Music Man, and with our special, I don't have a personality person, and even though I was an actress and singer and all this other kind of stuff, who hasn't stopped
doesn't have a personality.
Selena Teal, Thiel, not Teal. By the way, if you would like to ask Selena any questions, please call in at 631-987-8477. That's 631-987-8477. Let me go now, and I want to tell now everybody the exciting part that happened with the Business Power Hour this week. We have joined Audio Workstations back in January. I had been looking for a new place to do a show in December, was having a hard time, and then by chance, and right near my home, I came into Audio Workstations. And we've worked hand in hand with Matt, the owner, and Dylan, who's the sound tech, who's right behind this curtain, by the way. Say hello, Dylan.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, that's enough.
Hi, Dylan. There you go.
Go back. All right, but something very exciting has happened. Audio Workstations had gotten some information about our show from people that, when I say from companies that wanted to promote and broadcast the Business Power Hour. So as of tonight, and this is the first show in Selena, you're always going to go down in history with the Business Power Hour, because tonight we are on Spotify, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Apple, Pandora, and iHeart. So let's give it up. And I thank you to all of you out there, because you help make this very, very successful. We have a lot of followers. We have a lot of people that are viewers, and it's going to be so much more. And if you would like to be on the Business Power Hour and you're excited about getting leads from this particular show, especially now that we have all these broadcast sites.
Platforms
that are out there, 631-698-9696. That's it. You'll be speaking to the Music Man. 631-698-9696. And I look forward to hearing from everybody. And again, thanks everyone very, very much. Okay, now, tell us about what happened when in your life. You were in the real estate business for a bit, weren't you?
I was helping my dad with his business. So I was helping him with home inspections, and then the housing market crashed, which, was healthy for everyone, as we all know. And so I was helping him basically clean out and do repairs on foreclosed properties for a while. So we were doing, yes, I can change out a toilet and French doors and refinish decks.
Very good. And the faucets and everything else,
and the
right?
faucets and all that kind of stuff. And as that started to kind of come back, I moved to basically a friend's business who was like, hey, my office manager quit really suddenly. I need someone who knows QuickBooks who can step in for like 2-3 weeks until I hire someone. And basically I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Number one, I was there for 2.5 years, so as it happens.
That's terrific.
But it's also
2.5 weeks, huh?
Yeah, 2.5 weeks, 2.5 years. Just a little factual oops.
Yeah.
But when I went on his computer, QuickBooks had never been opened. Everything, it was written in one of those green ledger journals that, back from the day. It was like check 3107 to 3142 with the total of all of that, which, as we know, the IRS does not like. They do not like it when you do that. So at that point, I'm like 19, 20, having a nice little hyperventilation moment under the desk. And then just take the moment to like breathe, dive in, went through all of the paperwork, because again, this was still mostly paperwork. Wow. Cleaned it all up, turned it into something functional, got his books and everything back up and running, and I kind of had this moment of, oh wait, maybe I don't suck at this.
Now, you must have had all kinds of situations in your life with the virtual assistant and in fixing faucets, in acting and everything else that you've done. So you must have an interesting story that you can go and share with the audience tonight. What do you have an interesting story?
I have a lot of interesting stories. It's kind of which one?
Well, pick one of the, pick 10 of them and you can do 10.
I think one of the favorites is actually when my business partner first came to me and was just like, do you want to team up? Because at this point, so her husband was running a website and back-end tech stack development. I was still just me. And kind of foundering on my own. I had some really solid clients. They were really good. No, I was not charging enough. I fell into one of the classic blunders. Only slightly less well known than never get involved in a land war in Asia. Is charge enough for your freaking services. So we had met at a networking event and just connected. It's like got on like a house on fire, and we were hanging out semi-regularly, and one day she's like, okay, we're gonna get together, but I've got something really big to ask you. It's like, uh-oh, like, want me to now I'm nervous, like we get together and she's like, okay, I've been thinking about this. I've been helping my husband with his company. I am useless there. She has this thing, she's like, I thought I was gonna be a graphic designer, and I am creative, but that is not the type of creative that I am. And ultimately, she discovered that building systems and processes and like writing SOPs actually makes her very happy. Yeah. Like this is like, this is part of the reason why you want us. This brings us joy. We are, in fact, insane.
I like insane. Insane is good.
Insane is good, especially when it's an insane that meshes well with you with the other stuff that you're doing. But so she comes to me and she says, okay, so here's the thing. I think we should team up. I think we should get more VAs. I think we should train them on being VAs, because there's a lot of stuff to know, and you know more than you think you do, and I think I know more than I think I do, and I think it's going to be really good. And, I had that moment of like, oh, I don't know.
Yes. And how long ago was that?
So that was like July or August of 2019. And then we started it, like we officially had the paperwork filed by mid-September of 2019. So once we made the decision, we moved pretty quick. But I said yes. And she went, oh, thank goodness. I was like, that's a really big sigh of relief. Was it, were you really like relying on us teaming up? She's like, no, my husband got really excited about the concept of us teaming up. And I had Office Mercenary on my cards as kind of a thing. It's like, and he loved that term so much. He loved the term Office Mercenary.
It is terrific. It's something that you don't forget.
It's a unique name. And so he had kind of latched onto us. It's like, and so he kind of bought the web domain for Office Mercenary.
He bought it? It was your name?
He bought it and was sitting there like, I'm just so excited. And now you can tell Selena that you have this. And, Alyssa was having to turn back and say
he wasn't supposed to buy it. You're supposed to buy it.
Well, this, like, she had to go. She's like, no, you aren't supposed to buy her name out from under. Like, what if she says no? What are we gonna do? We're gonna look like terrible people. And so it's like, I'm so glad you said yes. So this is already set up, and we're good to go there. And he's gonna build the website because we're ready. Because if you said no, I was gonna be real sad.
But the name is still
no.
The name is still in their name.
No, it is transferred over to ours.
How did you do that? How did you do that?
That is the website person's job, and that's what he did. All of this is find the right person for the right job.
I guess
he was the right person for that. He's in charge of doing that.
Oh no!
So
now let's go back to reality. What is the biggest mistake that people make when they're hiring a virtual assistant for the first time?
This is like a great one, because people have really gotten the impression that, like, hiring a virtual assistant, it's I fill out a form, I say I want this, and this, and then they just start. There's still people involved. There is an onboarding period. You do have to, like, express opinions, even on stuff that is fairly basic. So I like to use email inbox management as an example for this. They're saying, manage my email inbox. Well, of course, just manage it. Okay, well, but, when I have this sort of thing come in, how do you want me to respond to that? How do you want to be let know, like, hey, this is something that you really need to respond to that the VA can't? Do you prefer stuff being just archived forever? Do you want stuff put into folders? Do you use tags? There's an
array.
There's an array of little options. And so then people aren't happy because they're just like, well, I let them go and they didn't do it the way I wanted.
Well, it's a sad case if someone can't answer their own email. I mean, it's to understand about some of the other things, but answer your own freaking messages.
Yeah.
It's email inboxes. You get a lot of stuff.
We all get a lot of
sometimes
stuff.
It's really helpful sometimes, like, if you get, especially if you're at all neurodivergent, this is something that we've seen a lot. Like, if you are, like, ADHD, that wall is overwhelming. So if you can have someone go, like, okay, this is spam, this is stuff that you probably want to, these 5 things you actually need to respond to. One of our clients, they're actually a restaurant, and they do catering. And so we set up a separate catering email, and that way it's like, okay, we're responding to those initial catering requests and doing preliminary proposals, and then sending it off to the owner and going, hey, any tweaks that you want to make for this? Okay, thanks, bye. And then making sure all of that follow-up happens. And that's something where she's trying to run 2 restaurants and the catering. Yeah, no, getting to the catering email is ultimately low on the list when it comes that, like, the brisket is getting overdone.
Right. They have to pay attention to the kitchen. They don't need to look at emails or manage that piece unless it's timing. Now, are you setting the appointments for those catering events, or?
Like, with that sort of thing, their particular form is like, what day do you want stuff? Do you want to be picked up, or do you want it dropped off? Do you want, like, the full wait staff crew to it? All of these options are part of the form, and we're going through and going, oh, hey, this is helping make sure that, hey, this Wednesday you've got 5 events. One of them you have to have a full wait staff. Let's make sure that we prep for that.
Gotcha. So what should we expect when we're onboarding a VA?
So number 1, questions. There's going to be questions back and forth, like that whole thing. Again, you're having a human get involved. There's going to be questions. Probably initially there's going to be stuff where it's like, okay, I did it this way. Do you like this? I want it.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt you for a second. I'm a potential client. I was referred to you by Joe Schmo, and he gave me your phone number, and he said that you can handle anything. So, hi, Selena. My name is Joe Schmo. I'm looking. I believe I need a virtual assistant. What do I do? And how do we get started?
So generally, if it's something like, I need help with everything, we'll say, okay, let's pick like 2 or 3 things to start with, because that way you can get like a good flow with that, make sure that all of those questions are answered and you aren't trying to spread anyone too thin.
Do you pick those 2 or 3 areas that are like normal and when someone first gets started, or do you leave it up to the potential customer?
We generally have a conversation about it. Our biggest thing is like, name your top 3 things that are bogging you down. And that you hate doing. Social media becomes one of those, because most people are like, I hate taking the time to like think up stuff and then schedule it. I hate it. But email ends up being a pretty regular thing too. There's a ton of stuff, but I say pick 2 to 3. Then kind of the initial onboarding period is probably going to be 2 to 4 weeks, just to make sure everything is moving moving correctly. You've got access to all of the stuff, because all of the password management stuff, like there's a lot of stuff that makes it a lot easier anymore. But there's, oh, well, Google, you have to hit the one number on your phone and make sure everything flows. So it's not an instantaneous takeover.
Well, what do you do? You know, you got your regular existing clients. Then you get do you get on a average, how many new phone calls do you get a week?
We tend to do like 2 to 4. We don't get like a ton of phone calls.
Well, you shouldn't, because then you'd be
you'd be overwhelmed.
We'd be overwhelmed.
Well, what do you do when you're overwhelmed? What do you do then? How do you pass things off? Do you pass things
more
off?
VAs?
It's like more VAs. Yeah, no. Right, when my business partner and I get overwhelmed, we rebuild systems and we make sure that we have other steps so that we are getting really granular with what people want, so we can speed up our process for, are we the right fit for you? Are you the right fit for whatever it is you're doing? Can we really help you? Or do we need to refer you to someone else because you're looking for higher end marketing, or you need cash flow help and we need to send them to Lisa, things like that.
Why don't you send somebody to Norman?
It's like, well, if they're looking for fundraising and all that kind of stuff, then I send them to Norman.
Being on the the Business Power Hour.
Yeah.
But like most people, it's just like, I'm just so overwhelmed. We make a joke that it's like kind of like you're being chased by a bear on a track. Like, you're so afraid of stopping that bear is going to catch you that you don't stop to realize that if you just kind of, hey bear, and make a lot of noise at it, it'll probably back down. That is where some of the online business manager stuff comes in. We have like one kind of OBM package that is we're going to take a deep dive in your business and see the places that it makes most sense to get help first. And that's where we do essentially a macro map, which is a big overview. So it's kind of the customer journey funnel plus the back end, because you should be reviewing what you're doing with your clients.
All right, now we're going to, again, how do people get in touch with you?
Start with phone numbers.
Okay, phone number 720-235-8503.
One more time.
720-235-8503.
And then your website?
Website is officemercenary.com. OFFICEMERCENARY.com. And the email is Selena@OfficeMercenary. You can also email hello@OfficeMercenary, and that will go to either my business partner or I.
That sounded like a real commercial.
That was really I know what I'm doing. Don't tell anyone.
That was a good job. That was really a good job.
We want everyone to know this.
It's nice. It's nice to know that you know your phone number and your email address. Especially since you're a virtual assistant. Speaking of it, if I'm that person, the new person that's going to be calling looking for a virtual assistant, do I make a list of things to make your life easier, of things that I would like to adjust? Because you had mentioned that you ask them when they call you. Should I make that list before I call you?
It's always helpful to know what you want someone to do and a rough idea of how you want them to do it. If you have built a standard operating procedure, an SOP document, that makes it so easy to hand stuff off. There will still be a couple questions, but then it's like, oh, I do this and then this and then this, and that's not a problem. But yeah, generally you want to have a vague idea of what you want to hand off. If you don't know what you want to hand off, again, you're having that like, I'm being chased by the bear. Then you're going to come in and we're going to say, okay, maybe we have like this quick OBM package. We're going to do a macro map and like a tech stack overhaul to see what you're using.
That's all Greek to me.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So the macro map is like it says, that customer journey funnel. Where do you people come from? What's your process when you get them in? Kind of the questions that you're asking me now. Well, first you fill out these forms. Your services, and then the back end kind of follow up, like how do you build stuff with them? If there's little like, hey, my customer onboarding process is actually a 12-step thing, okay, then we'll build a special little micro map for that. A tech stack audit is where we take, okay, your email is on Google Suite and your CRM is HubSpot and your project management system is ClickUp, or whatever all of those end up being. We'll list them all out, see what you like, see what you don't like, see what you're not using correctly or not using at all, and try to get everything to talk to each other to streamline that entire process and that flow. And that way you can throw a VA into like one or two places to start out and have them be the most functional. You're going to get the biggest bang for your buck because they are going to take over that one linchpin spot that just holds up everything in your entire process.
The whole reason to have a VA.
Exactly. And maybe that's not the thing that you hate the most. Because lots of people would say, oh, I hate social media the most. But the linchpin is you aren't
customers.
It's you aren't getting people to finish filling out their forms so that you can actually start working.
How many page form do you have?
Our form is like 2 to 3 pages. It's not that much.
Well, that sounds the initial, like a lot to me.
That's like the full contract. The initial form is, I like to do this.
And when you talk about initial contract, do you offer packages? Like in package A, we include this, 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 and this. In package B, it's 7, 8. You know, it's
most of our packages are when we're talking about the online business manager stuff, the OBM work, just because that is meant to be worked out of. Bookkeeping, we also do more of a package because then it is, hey, we're doing this thing every month, and there's not going to be a lot of massive change. If you suddenly pick up 15 more bank accounts, then we're going to have different questions.
So, question for you. You said the banking piece and the books. Are you offering financials or bookkeeping services?
We do like bookkeeping services. Like there is a point where we will draw the line and we'll say like, okay, you need someone with like the full certification. Most of the stuff, if it's like on QuickBooks and you're trying to make sure that you're staying on top of your profit and loss statements and you're able to get your taxes done on time. Okay, yeah, no, that's a low bar to clear, and a lot of people aren't clearing it. So yeah, we can help with that.
Okay. Do you have any platforms that you're on?
We have a lot of platforms that we're on. So in terms of social media, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're building a TikTok channel.
Why
Lord help
TikTok?
Us. So
are you going to dance?
No. I mean, I could.
Yeah.
I did take tap many years ago, but I don't think that's what we're going to do. It's going to be more like knowledge and a little bit what we're doing now. Like, hey, here's how you build an SOP, because most people sit there and look at it and then it gets overwhelming and I have no idea how to do it.
More business now than I did before in regards
to a lot more
business, not dancing business or singing business, right. Whatever.
It's really kind of where Facebook was in like 2012. So you can still get a lot of very organic follows and interaction. And if you do pay for ads and all that kind of stuff, it's still relatively cheap to get ads and stuff there. Facebook is such a name and it's so big that it's more expensive to put ads on there, and it's more saturated with stuff. So it's harder to get that organic traction.
Well, I'm
anymore.
sure that you've done your research into TikTok and some others that you made a decision that TikTok would be the best. Do you do any seminars or education to possible virtual assistant users?
We do. We did one. It's been about a year. We got busy, but we're putting together a couple more things. Again, that's one of those things. If you follow us on any of our social media platforms, not just TikTok, but like Facebook, Instagram, what else are we on? Those are the big ones.
I think what you
LinkedIn,
should do
of
is
course,
have
LinkedIn.
a mercenary virtual assistant concert.
Oh, there you go.
And
Just get
invite these
exposure all
strangers,
across
the
the
strangers
US.
that you don't know, come. You only
Yeah.
charge them a fee for their ticket and whatever, and you have a couple of tables outside. And are you interested in a virtual assistant? And there you go. And then that will
Yeah.
help me, and that will help you, and that'll be great. Because believe it or not, our hour is just about over.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
wrapping up. Can you believe it?
Oh, the time has flown by so fast.
It
Now,
certainly
again,
has.
how do people reach you?
Okay, they can call me at 720-235-8503. They can also text me at that phone number. I am an elder millennial. Text message is wonderful. 720-235-8503. Or there's also email and the website. The website is officemercenary.com, OFFICEMERCENARY.com. And then the email is Selena, SELENA, at Office Mercenary. Or if you want to reach my business partner also, who I swear is also a lovely human being, is hello at Office Mercenary.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello. We'll have to have
Can
her
I
on
speak to
next
hello?
time.
Hi, can I speak to hello? What do you mean hello's not in? She has to be in because I was told to say hello. Now, speaking about hello, I don't want hello. I want Selena. Can I specifically ask for you or one of your other employees if I wanted that to happen?
Yes, you certainly can. Generally, if I am doing the work for you, I am probably either
No, but
getting
you
ready
didn't
to
do any
hand it off
work
to a
yet.
VA.
You didn't do any work for me yet, and I.
You can specifically ask to speak to me for the initial conversation without a problem.
Okay. How come we didn't have your partner on the show tonight?
Yeah.
She gets very nervous with this sort of thing. Like
Oh.
one-on-one conversations, she is great. This sort of like, oh, I'm live and there's people watching me. She goes
Frozen. Okay.
She doesn't go and say hello. She says goodbye.
That could have been me 5 years ago.
She goes, hello. And then kind of hide behind the desk.
Oh, no.
I was very proud of her. We did an event like a couple weeks ago, and she stood at the podium and was like, yes, things are here. Well, let me just talking. So,
Well, when you know your business and your products, how can you not talk about it? And so one of these days she'll get overcome that.
One-on-one stuff, it comes into like Zoom one-on-one meetings, all that kind of stuff, fantastic. Especially when you start talking about some processes and SOPs. She lights up like a Christmas tree.
Nice.
Well, that's good. Everybody serves a purpose. Now, again, the purpose of, before we say goodnight, the purpose of a virtual assistant is to
do all the stuff in your business that does not make you money, but desperately needs to get done, does not make you happy, but desperately needs to get done, and is stopping the things that if you don't do them are stopping you from ultimately growing and getting stuck in your head.
Well, I thank you very
well
much for being
said.
on tonight. You really did a great. I know you would. I know
Yep.
you would kick it. Absolutely
You got it.
kick it. And everyone will know that tomorrow if they don't already know tonight, because I will make sure that that happens. So, Selena Teal, thank you so much for being here. And
Thank you so much for having me.
It's our pleasure. It's our pleasure. I thank you. So you just hang in there while we say goodnight to everybody.
Absolutely.
All right. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. And again, I thank you for the success that you're giving to the Business Power Hour. If you're interested in doing not just doing your own podcast, get in touch with Audio Workstations. Ask for Matt. Great guy. His number is 516-448-2066. That's 516-448-2066. Tell him that Norman from the Business Power Hour sent you and that Lisa sent you. Give me a chance. I'm doing it. I'm telling
I was going to say, you'll be in great hands with Matt. He does a great job for us.
Yes, he does. And we thank you, and we'll see you all next Tuesday night, 7 o'clock sharp. Be well. Enjoy your weekend coming up. Thank you, folks.
Bye-bye.
The Business Power Hour with Lisa and the Music Man is sponsored by Media Stations. Create your own media and have your own station. To get started with your own content, call or text 516-448-2066. That's Media Stations in Bohemia, New York.